Howdy and welcome. You are listening to A Mom's Guide to Wine, a guided wine tasting with candid reflections on motherhood. Here we spill the tea, but never the wine. And we're your hosts, Eliza James
and Rosie Gold.
And we're so glad you joined us for today's tasting adventure.
And of course, full disclosure, for those with little ears around, 90% of our topics and language will be more on the R rating scale. Also, we are not professionals or experts. We are simply sharing our experiences and including some Google searches for support. We are amateur wine enthusiasts and professional moms. That is our skill set.
That's it.
Well, we try.
We do try.
Most days.
Yeah, I'd agree. Most days. We do try most days. Not every day, but most days.
We try for happiness.
Yes. I don't know, my little now has a nice bruise on his jaw from where he was trying to, climb up on a desk. Slipped, fell, and,
Beautiful. This is great.
It's just great. So it's been a great day. I'm so happy you're here.
No more screaming.
There's no more screaming. We got an ice pack on the face. Now the husband can deal with him. And you and I can lock ourselves in a room for a couple hours and we get to do this. So it's great.
Mine has lots of fake boo-boos right now because I have lots of health issues, right? And a lot of pain.
Yeah.
So, my arm will start randomly hurting or something. Well, then the next few days, my child's arm just so happens to be hurting.
And poor baby.
Or his back. It was so cute. He'll stand up and he'll just, hold his back and go, oh, my back.
Poor
I
baby.
need a Band-Aid.
Of course he does. Of course he needs a Band-Aid. I mean, what else do you do
I wish
with that?
mine would be fixed with a Band-Aid.
For reals. But,
anyway.
First, the wine.
Oh, yes. That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for at least this portion. Today's wine is from Noble Vines. It's their Merlot. It's the 181 Merlot. And it says it's bottled in Lodi, California on the front. And that's a 2020 vintage. But if I flip it over... This is a very dramatic flip, just in case y'all are wondering. And
you couldn't see it. It was
so
says
dramatic. Vented and bottled by Noble Vines in Manteca, California. So I don't know why there's two locations. I don't know if the grapes are grown and done somewhere else, and that's why it says that.
Maybe it's barreled in one location and actually bottled in another.
I'm thinking it's something along those lines. But it's a very sleek, fancy looking bottle. Pretty sure it's a grape leaf on the front.
We had this talk before.
Yeah, we've had this talk. It's definitely more likely a grape leaf.
It looks like the leaf that covers the David statue.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I'm pretty sure it's a grape leaf. So a little bit about Noble Vines Winery. They say that they have a deep-rooted desire for good. They write on their website, "We help people out, hold people up, do good every chance we get. We choose to pour good into the world and give people our best. We believe there is always more good to give." So, and on that note, Noble Vines partners with several organizations and causes. So I'm gonna list them out here, but if you're interested in what good that they pour back into the world, they actually have links and full descriptions of each. So, one of them is No Kid Hungry, and that's where they provide food for children during breakfast and lunch and dinner and stuff. Generally during the summer is when most people
I think so.
do it because the kids can't get their food at school, so they provide food for these kids during the off season. They are partnered with Operation Homefront, which has to do with military service, ampleharvest.org, which I think has to do with food distribution, Restaurants Care, the Grateful Table Dine Out, that's a month-long campaign that they said's in November, and Operation Rebound that has to do with soldiers that return and are disabled, and they help them find outlets. And I think that's a really great...
That's amazing.
Things that they're involved in, so that's kind of cool. So, the wine, it is aged for 3 months in a French and American oak barrels. They say it should be full-bodied and a restrained balance with ripe, plush tannins. So there should be legs for days. But I bet you it's not a sweet wine because it's a Merlot.
I was thinking it was going to bite me.
It might bite you. They said we should get aromas of vanilla cherry pie, nutmeg, and cinnamon. So
those are like my 4 favorite flavors.
Open it and smell it because I don't want to give away the tasting notes just yet.
Do I have to cut anything?
Yeah, we gotta. I was gonna use my fancy.
You don't normally put it in my hands to open.
I know.
This is a mistake.
I'm sorry. I thought. Well, now I can't get the foil off. Hang on.
We're actually using a foil cutter today.
Bam, got it. Yeah, I'm using my fancy wine opener.
Fancy wine opener.
So we just set it on top here.
And push a button.
And you push down. But you gotta kind of push down.
I'm not helping. This is when I tell my child, are you helping or hurting?
Yeah,
I was hurting.
That's okay.
I was hurting the situation.
But, so do you smell the stuff? Oh,
I smell vanilla and cherry a lot.
My cork broke. Now I'm sad. But it did
I'm
not
not
break
really smelling
in
the
bottle.
Spices from the bottle. But I'm also smelling the bottle.
Where did the cork come from? There's like a chunk of cork, but look at the cork. It must have come from the inside.
Ugh.
Because you can't see it.
Look at that.
Anyway. Alright, I digress.
It didn't go in the bottle. That's what counts.
That's what matters. Here, glass.
Yes, got you. Nice heavy pour.
That is a heavy pour. Whew, I hope we're thirsty.
Oh, mine will be much less. I'm also slightly under the weather, so if I sniffle, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Recovering. Alright, so I'm gonna... Ooh. I get cherry pie. Do you smell the cherry?
I smell all up in the cherry.
Oh my goodness. I get some vanilla.
I don't know if I'm smelling the spices, but I don't know if I have ever just sat there and smelled nutmeg.
Oh, you
cinnamon,
would know.
I smell cinnamon all the time, so because I cook so much with it.
Yeah, but no, nutmeg
but I'm not really smelling it.
No, I'm not getting those, but I do get the cherry and vanilla. That's definitely...
Yeah, let's taste it.
All right, you ready? Oh, it's got a bite to it. It was a little bitier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, hold on. I gotta get some more. Hold on.
It's not super sweet, for sure.
Well, you know, Merlots are pretty dark. And they're generally a rich wine, and I feel like this one is pretty... Whoa. I swirled it too much.
I'm trying to think of what I'm tasting, because it's kind of earthy to me. But I'm searching for that nutmeg and cinnamon. Okay, because I love nutmeg and cinnamon.
According to their website, we should get flavors of brown sugar, which I can kind of pick up some of that.
I kind of see that.
Ripe plum,
okay,
which I kind of get.
It is fruity.
Some of that. Buttered toast.
That must be that earthy thing that I'm trying to find.
I was really like, I'm going to taste toast. I want to taste toast. So I'm going to try again.
Is this like when you smell toast and like you're having a medical
it's like a stroke?
Emergency? Yeah.
I hope not. That would be bad. But I'm going to take another sip. I like this. It is a very heavy... I will agree.
It is not attacking my senses, for sure. It's not doing that.
But it's definitely heavy on the tongue.
And it lasts a long time on the tongue.
Yeah, so it's like a 13% something percent alcohol by volume.
Oh, beautiful.
So these wines are all numbered with like weird numbers on them, but it's not weird numbers. It has to do with the ancestry of the grapevines that they get their grapes from. And so they're numbered somehow. And that's what the numbering system has to do. Because I was like, why are all their bottles numbered?
So all of my family, when they had animals, and I mean large livestock, they would have a system like that where they followed the lineage. But they would name, like, say, goats. They would name goats from, like, this lineage, this number. And that would be their group number. But then they would have the mother's first letter of her name would be all of her children's names, whether or not they're boys or girls. Okay. And so, like, the grandmother goat would be, like, Nana. And then you would have all in names for all of her children. And so then it'd be all like their children's children.
In whatever it was.
Okay. And sometimes we would struggle coming up with names.
I bet you
so
did.
we kind of got away from certain letters of the alphabet, for sure.
I can see that being a problem.
Let that lineage die, because we don't want any more of this particular letter. I don't remember.
Y's
this has been a while,
hard.
guys.
Yes. O's. Those might not be too bad. You could probably go Greek with those.
Yeah.
But
I remember Brita. We had always a lot of B's.
Oh.
So there must have been a lot with that.
Maybe so. But this wine's not so shabby. Like I'm not, I don't know. I don't want to say like I'm 100% like, yes.
I feel like it would be better with like a steak dinner. And I don't know, you know better about pairings and things, but I feel like if you had like a robust dinner, I feel like it would be sitting stronger on the tongue than it is today.
Most Merlots are good with a nice red meat.
Look at me. I'm learning.
So, yeah. I actually have a pork roast going because this is supposed to go really good with a roast. I don't know if it's going to be the best with pork, but we're going to find out. But I'm going to do barbecue on my pork. So to give it a more
Sweeten
of a...
it up.
I want to make it heavier, I want it to pair with the wine. So I'm going to doctor it.
I like it.
And make it the way I want it to be. Which goes along with today's episode because we are in season 2, episode 15.
Almost finishing up.
We're so close. This is second to the last episode.
Back. Bringing it back.
Meal prep. Oof. All right.
Got to talk about meal prepping.
Yeah, because we do a lot of that.
We do.
I don't think I can survive cooking every day if I did not do some type of calendar of events, planning ahead every meal for our household.
And I know we've mentioned in the past different organizational tools that we use, and some of the ones we've mentioned are primarily about cooking because it's very important to us.
Yes, we like to save money, and to do so, we cook at home. That's the only way I know how to take a big chunk of expenses and shrink them down is I cook at home.
And it is so hard to save money right now.
Yeah, it is.
So you kind of build around, for me, I think I've heard you do this too, you find the deal on the meat, and then you
That's what I was just
build your meal plan around the meat you find on sale.
So this pork that I pulled out was actually from a couple of months ago at Kroger. They were having a buy one, get one deal on their porks.
Nice.
Their pork roast. And so I buy up 4 of them. And guess what happens? We just we get at least one a month. That way we're running through them and they don't spoil in the freezer. And so now it's time for the pork roast. So,
tell you what I can't find on sale, and that's chicken. Well, they say it's on sale, but it's not. It's never really good on sale. Chicken. It's 60 cents off of the whole package.
So they had a sale at Kroger.
And that's so true. The chicken quality is not the same.
Good. But they were having a sale on it, and it was with the rib meat and stuff in it. And I'm I'm not eating around. I don't like bones. I'm really big on, I want my meat. I just want to be able to eat it. I don't want to have to work for it.
So my sister's always been that way. She has a hard time dealing with meat when it's raw. Mm-hmm. And she literally will gag herself if she thinks about it. And so normally her husband does a lot of the meat cooking.
I can understand. I understand that. I don't like touching raw chicken.
But see, I'm all about it. I'll bake a whole chicken at least once a week, once every other week. I'm constantly doing a whole chicken.
I just hate working around the bones. That's my big thing. I'm ugh. Yeah, they're cheaper if you buy them whole, because you can get a whole chicken for, $4 or $5 or something?
Yeah, but if you go by weight, you're getting, all the meats. Yeah. Whereas, you might like chicken breast, and if you want chicken breast only, you're getting 3 or 4 chickens, worth of meat.
Mm-hmm. I like buying just the breast.
Yeah.
I don't even like wings or legs, or those have bones in them. I don't want the bones.
Fortunately, my husband's from far west Texas, and so he's fine with whatever I serve him.
Well, there you go.
We went to a wedding that had all hunted game.
Oh, yeah.
At the wedding, and there was pheasant and things like that. I will say, if you ever get a chance to go to one of those, it's kind of interesting, mostly because the people that are preparing the foods are really interesting and fun to listen to. And I just walked over to where they were barbecuing outside and just hung out with them for a couple hours because they were hilarious.
You're what else am I going to do? This is fun.
They were hilarious, yeah.
So that would be an interesting wedding to go to. Everything we've killed ourselves.
And digging the buckshot out. That's I don't want to do that.
No.
That's horrible.
No.
I'm not about that type of stuff. I do find those humans interesting, though.
I bet I bet they were. So, what is